Welcome back to day 5, the last day going over my time at Olds Ecole Elementary School. And the big thing that I want to go over today also doesn't really fit into any of the observation tasks. However, I feel like it's very important and it's something that is a really good tool to learn. And that's kind of disaster avoidance. When something goes wrong, how do you deal with it? For my last day of the practicum, first thing in the morning, walk into Madame Payne's class, and there is a substitute teacher. Does not speak any French in the French immersion first grade classroom. Now, the sub plans were left in French. Why that happened? Don't ask me. I'll never know. Do I think it was smart? Not really. Am I gonna judge? No, I didn't make the sub plans. So, this teacher has no idea what to do, right? And I'm sitting there and I know what's supposed to be happening, but I don't know how to go through the smart board to get to her files, to open up the certain videos, or what the videos were called to look them up. So it was a big hassle. And after a while, this sub goes, "We're gonna skip your routine, okay? I know how your class," he was very strict with these kids. He goes, "I know how your classroom normally goes. We're not doing that today. This is my classroom today. We're gonna be following these rules. You get 3 strikes, you're out." Now, it was very apparent that he didn't know what was going on. And he knew that the kids knew, and they were already kind of going, "Well, what's this guy doing?" Like, they didn't really respect him in any way or see him as a friend, because quite frankly, he wasn't the very friendly kind of teacher. He was a bit of an old head. They have to respect you, you have to be assertive. And the way that he resolved this was by laying down ground rules. 3 strikes, you're out, okay? And he proved it. First kid got 3 strikes within the first 30 minutes. He got sent out to the hallway. And he said he'd go talk to him, and he waited about 10 minutes before he went and talked to him. And that was just kind of his way of making the class make sure, like, hey, I may not know how to do it the normal way, but I am still a teacher, and I am still here, so you have to respect me and listen. And it's not really the optimal way to go about things, but it is still a way that makes it doable. And it was really cool to see that that's how he avoided that, because I did talk to him after and about kind of his strategy with that. And he said, like, he didn't want to be like that harsh to the kids, but he couldn't really see another way at the time to work around the respect being lost, because he couldn't figure out how to work the smart board or do the routine. And that's kind of a big stepping stone to come over when a class like that is so obsessed with the routine, and you have to skip it because there's no really other option. Because he tried to go like, "Hey, let's do this instead," and they were like, no, like, we want our routine. And he just kind of had to be aggressive and lay down those rules. And after that, the class did listen to him. And I feel like that kind of disaster avoidance was just a really cool thing to see. And I would also, that's my big takeaway from day 5. But I would also like to mention, throughout the time, I haven't really talked about them, because in that classroom, I never had time to write anything down like I did in my other ones. But in Miss Martin's grade 3 classroom, I would be way too busy helping. And it was because in that class, she had 6 students who needed more. There was one kid who was stuck at the developmental age of 3 years old, so he couldn't think like anyone older than 3. So he would sit there and we'd set up little Play-Doh games with him. And she had one girl in her classroom who couldn't control any bodily fluids. And those kids were amazing. One of the little girls that sat beside the kid with the developmental problem, she helped him. I would go to help him, and I wasn't sure like what was too much for him or what wasn't enough for him. And she would even help me. She'd go, "Hey, like, Silas, like, do you just want to do this instead? And it became a really good way to kind of, bond with those kids. And by the end of my time in that classroom on the 5th day, when I told them I was leaving, I had 4 kids cry. And earlier in the practicum, Madison went into that classroom, and one of them came up to her and went, "Aw, why are you here? Where's Mr. Jake?" And they were doing math, apparently. Madison told me about this. And one of the kids goes up to her and goes, "Hey, like," she put her hand up, and Madison goes, "Hey, like, isn't Mr. Jake's mustache really cool?" I think so too, kid. Okay, we're on the same page here. But no, so I just thought that was a really cool bonding experience that I kind of wanted to mention for my time in the practicum. And that's it. I'll see you in the kind of reflective big overview one.